feeling like Biggie Smalls? Because I got a story to tell. It's not a personal story, but this is actually a story. I don't know how on earth I missed this. I'm usually pretty close to the news. I think a lot of it had to do with me, trying to keep track of the Trayvon Martin case and everything. And I may talk about that in a separate video. But this situation happened 2 months ago in Virginia. Basically a father, and I hate to have to explain the races, but I have to, just so you can understand the context, and that way you can better understand my opinion after I tell you what took place. But basically, you have a father. He's a white guy, and he's it's a typical day. He's going to Walmart. He's got his 3 daughters with him. 2 of his daughters are 2 years old. They're twins. And he has another daughter that's 4 years old. So, he goes there. He has to take them out the car. They go inside. You know how it is. If you're a parent and you have kids like me, you know how that situation is. Everybody can relate to that. So he goes inside, he comes out, his phone's ringing, he's on the phone, he's trying to put the kids back in the car and whatnot. Just typical day. And he drives to go pick up his wife, who happens to be black. So keep in mind, his children, all 3 of them are biracial, okay? They're all mixed. So, he picks up his wife, and then when they come home, they find a police officer in front of their house. And he's basically asking them, well, we believe that there's suspicion that those 3 little girls you have there, they aren't yours. So, the mom is like, really, dude? And the husband, he's trying to be calm, he's trying to be cool. But the cop is like, well, what's your name? Let me see your ID. He's asking the children, is this your mother? Is this your father? I mean, it's a whole mess, right? So the wife says, well, why are you here? Who had suspicion of what? What's going on? And the officer said, well, ma'am, I'm just trying to do my job. I was contacted by Walmart. They had suspicions about your husband with you guys' 3 kids. So she's like, bump that, I'm gonna call Walmart. So she calls Walmart, and they transfer her to the security at Walmart, and she's explaining the whole situation to them. And they're like, well, we're not responsible. And she's like, well, if you're not responsible, who is? What happened that my husband all of a sudden is a person that has kidnapped children? Where did this even come from? And Walmart says, well, we were given, a customer had told us about that they saw him and things didn't look right, so we had to look into this situation and report it to the police. But she's trying to pull out of Walmart, like, what exactly did the customer say? And the customer said something to the effect of that, they just didn't fit. Seeing him with the 3 mixed children just didn't fit. It just didn't look right. Didn't seem right. So now that you know the story, there's two things that make this story touch me. Because for one thing, I have 2 children, and they're both biracial. My son is black and white, and my daughter is Mexican and black. Now of course they look like me, but you know what I mean? This story speaks volumes, because I can't tell you how many times. I mean, it's never gone this far to where the police have had to stop me and ask me about my kids, but definitely on more than one occasion, especially with my son, because my son, he's very light-skinned, he has blue eyes, curly hair, he looks a lot like my dad, who was the same way, blue eyes, curly hair, etc. And you know, I've had people look funny at him and I together, where they're thinking, well, did this guy kidnap this little white kid? You know, or they may say, oh, you know, he looks so cute. You know, is this your son? No, of course it's my son. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not that I'm oversensitive about it, but it's like, this is not unusual for people of different ethnicities to mix and have children. You know what I'm saying? But secondly, the part that bothers me the most is that I saw the little comments after that, and like a handful of people had the nerve. They had the nerve to say, you know what? This story has absolutely nothing to do with racism at all. And as a matter of fact, those parents should be glad and grateful that that customer told Walmart and that the police looked into it, because of how many children are kidnapped and abducted and so on and so forth. Right? But let me dissect this shit further. Let me dissect this. Let me break this down for you and explain it in a way so that way you have no other reason but to accept the fact that this is about ignorance and it's about racism. Point blank, period. My first point. What was so suspicious about this man at Walmart with his 3 children? Were any of the children like screaming for help, trying to run away, trying to pull away from him or doing anything unusual? No, they're with their dad. They feel protected. If anything, yeah, this is my dad. He's gonna protect me from other people. So I feel safe around dad, right? That's number one. And number two, why didn't Walmart just review the cameras and see for themselves? Because I'm inclined to believe, I mean, this is a bit of an assumption on my part, but I'm inclined to believe they didn't even review the tapes. They just took what this customer said and called the police, and now you have a whole fiasco going on. You know what I'm saying? And third of all, think about what the customer said. Oh, you know, something just didn't seem right. They just didn't, you know, something just didn't fit. What didn't fit? This lets you know that that customer, that person that reported this, number one, they are completely ignorant, because there's no other possibility for this person to report this if the children aren't acting crazy, and if the children aren't acting rambunctious, and they make the claim that they just didn't fit, something just didn't seem right. Because this level of thinking means, well, wait, there is absolutely no way possible that a white man would have sex with a black woman and have mixed children. This is what had to have been running in this woman's mind, or man, or whomever it was, that this just doesn't happen. So obviously, you know, this is their logic. Obviously, since in their mind this isn't normal or this doesn't happen, well, this person he must have kidnapped these children. He must have taken these children. Right? Do you disagree? You better not. And one more point. If this guy was a kidnapper, why would he go to a public place like Walmart? Why would he go to Walmart? Walmart has cameras out in the parking lot, inside the store. There's hundreds of people walking in and out, people in their vehicles. Everybody can see them. So if there was anything suspicious going on, don't you think other people also would have reported it? If the children were trying to get away from him, or if they were afraid of screaming for help, etc.? Come on now. This shit, and you know, this is just another fine example that in this country, in America, racism is so bad that now you got white people turning on other white people. Like, the possibility of this white man being married to a black woman and having children, it's just impossible. He must have kidnapped those children. This is how ignorant America has become. CP, I'm out.